Hello, my friends. Welcome to Radiant Resilience. I'm Tori, and this is the members class that is going to be the glider disc workout class. So before we get started, you will need a little bit of equipment. I'm on a laminate floor, so I have a slidey surface. If you don't have a surface that's slippery, you're on a carpet, you'll need some different things. So on a slidey surface, you can use gliders, which you can buy those at any of the big box stores in the workout equipment area, as well as some of the more specialized workout areas. You can use paper plates. You could also just put socks on your hands and feet and slide that way. What I'm using today, what I found works the best for me is to just use up some hand towels that I've folded into quarters. And that way my whole foot can be on the surface of the towel when I'm doing some standing things. If you happen to be on carpet, uh, some of the sliders are made for carpet, and you can also use a paper plate, and that seems to work. You know, the ones with the slicker bottom that has the kind of that waterproof coating, those seem to work really well. The other thing you might want besides a mat, and I have my mat folded up so that I just have a little square of it so that I can have my hands and feet off of the mat so that they can slide more easily in different positions. But I also want the mat for some padding for my knees and when I'm lying down. Also, you might want a knee pad. If you don't have a knee pad, this is just one of those garden knee pads. If you don't have one of those, you could use a folded up towel or blanket or whatever you happen to have on hand. Also, just a quick reminder, keep yourself safe. You're responsible for your own safety. This is going to be more of a beginner's class so that if you haven't done this before, this will be a nice intro and hopefully it will be within a range of challenge that you feel challenged, but you still feel good afterwards. You don't feel like you've overdone it. I think that's it. So we are going to get started and we're going to start out with just a little bit of warming up. So I'm going to have you come down to the floor. So you can see now that my mat's just I have it folded into a square. And start out in your constructive rest pose. So my head's off the mat, so I'm just going to use one of my towels for that padding there. And constructive rest pose, you have your knees bent, feet flat on the floor, arms comfortably away from your sides, and your palms are facing up. And then take two big sighs. On your first one, let your low back and your belly soften. And on the second one, do the same thing. Let your shoulders relax towards the floor. And then you might be able to get a little more length out of the back of your neck. From there, we're going to just slide the arms out to a T position and move into some real easy twists. So you're just going to let your knees move side to side with your breath. You'll exhale as you move into the twist and inhale as you come out of your twist. And you'll just keep going. Now, if you haven't done a whole lot of moving before you turn this video on, just start small. And as things start to warm up or loosen up, you might be able to go bigger. But we're just warming up in a gradual way. All right. And then after you've come back to your center, take a breath in and on your exhale, bring knees into your chest and just give yourself a little pause right here. Let your low back and your hips get used to this position. You might play with crossing the ankles or not. Everybody's just a bit different. So find which position feels the best for you. And then either rock your legs side to side, and you can move your knees closer or farther from your chest as you're rocking, or you might choose to circle knees going in the same direction with your hands guiding the circles. And the idea here is just to get your low back a little massage, get a little bit of movement within your hips and low back. Now, if you are circling, switch the direction of your circles. If your ankles are crossed, you might even switch the cross of the ankles. Okay. Now, bring your legs back to center, open the knees apart, circle them around, and bring them back together. Moving the hip joints now. And then reverse your knee circles. As the knees come back into the middle, let's open the knees apart, soles of the feet come together, and then slide your hands down as low as you can reach on your legs. Give your feet a little pull towards your chest with the knees open in a butterfly position. Tailbone is nice and long here, back of the neck is long. You can choose to stay here with your feet together, or you can go to a separate foot coming into happy baby pose. And then either way, you might stay center or you might choose to rock. If you did choose to rock, make your way back into center. Take a breath in and out. And then release the legs. Knees back into your chest. Move your hands to the backs of the thighs. Flex your feet. Breathe in. Exhale, reach your legs up towards the ceiling. Inhale, bend. So now we're just warming the legs up a little bit as we stretch them. So we're getting some movement with this pumping action. And as the legs lengthen up, we're stretching out through the back of the legs, specifically the hamstrings. And as you reach up, really press through your heel. And now as you go along with your legs this time, stay there. Maybe reach the arms up too. So you're going to move your wrists up, palms up, palms down as you point and flex your feet and spread out your toes. And this is a very similar way I start all of my yoga classes. If you've taken any of them, you'll know that. And then make soft fists with your hands, thumbs inside the fists. Rotate your ankles and your wrists. And then reverse. Flex your feet, spread the toes out, give your hands a shake. And then bring your knees back into your chest, do a little side to side rock. As you come center, move your hands just to your right knee. Bring your left foot down on the floor, or you can go long with your left leg. As you hold your right knee in, give yourself a sigh. And then bring your left knee into your chest and transfer your hands to the left leg, right foot on the floor, or right leg long, and sigh again. And then stretch both legs long, arms come up over your head. Inhale, stretch out through your whole body. Exhale, relax to the floor. And then inhale, stretch one side out. Exhale, release. Inhale, stretch the other side out. And release. And then one more full stretch. And release. Slide or walk your feet back to the floor. Bring your arms back down. And then we're going to do just a little hip movement. So cross your right ankle over your left thigh. And then we're going to push the right thigh open and then pull it across. So your hands guide as you push the thigh open, and then you pull the knee across towards your left shoulder. All right. Now, as you release, come into your figure four pose. So if you don't like to bring your left knee up towards your chest, you can keep your foot down on the floor. And you could even wrap one of your towels around the back of your left thigh so that it's just making your arms a little longer as you rock side to side. And then find the best spot where it feels like the right stretch for you and breathe there. Good. And then we'll release and we'll do the other side. Left ankle to your right thigh. And you're going to push the left thigh open and then pull the knee across towards your right shoulder. And push it open and pull it across. Keep moving back and forth with the knee. And you might find your leg prefers one direction over the other. Pretty normal. Now, as the knee opens this next time, keep it there. Figure four pose with your right foot on the floor or the right knee coming up, and then rock side to side. Okay, and then find your stopping place. And breathe there. As you release, both knees to the chest, rock side to side, and then roll to your side to bring yourself upright. Before we actually do some sliding, we're just going to do a little bit for the neck and shoulders. So roll the shoulders up, back, and around just to get them warmed up as well, because we will be sliding with our hands. And then roll your shoulders separate. Let your ribs move too. Feels good. Releases some tension that you might be holding in your upper back. And then on your next inhale, shrug shoulders up. Exhale, drop them down. One more time. Inhale, give a shrug. Exhale, drop down. Chin comes down to your chest, and just do a few little head rolls forward and to each side. As you go to your right side, stop there, little head nods. And then stop and sigh. And then go forward and to your left shoulder, little head nods when you get to this side. And stop and sigh. Bring your head forward, chin to the chest, breathe in. As you exhale, bring your head upright. Interlace your fingers in front of you, press your palms forward as you round through your spine. And then inhale, get tall. Exhale, round forward. Inhale, come up. One more time. Round forward and come up. Once you come up, turn your palms to face your head, bend your elbows. Do some circles over your head. Circle the other way. And then pause, cup one elbow with the opposite hand and give it a little pull. Switch. Good. And then we're gonna hug or wrap. And then just do a little up and down with your elbows. You can be here too, or you could be here. And you could lift and lower. Okay, and then open, cross the other side, hug, cross, or wrap. Lift and lower. Okay, and then open up really wide. Bring your hands down, come onto your fingertips, roll the shoulders up, back and down, and squeeze the shoulder blades together as you do a little lift in your heart. Okay, and then release. So from here, we're going to stay in this cross-leg position. Find whatever you're using for your sliders. Actually, I'm going to scoot back just a little bit so I stay in the camera. Yeah, there we go. And then we're just going to slide forward and pull back in. And slide out and pull in. And we'll do a few more in the center. In and out and out and in. Now we're going to go a little bit to one side. Slide out, slide in. Switch sides. Slide out, slide in. One more each direction. Out, in, and out, and in. Now pause and we'll switch the cross of the legs. Usually our second side will feel a little tighter, so you might not be able to go down quite as far. So we'll go 4 in the middle, out and in, out, in. So we're starting fairly simple. We'll be working up to some things that are a little more challenging. Now we're going to alternate to one side, center, other side, center. One more each direction, out, in, and out, and in. Good. Now sweep both of the sliders over to your left, and you're going to come onto your left hip with your legs kind of pushed out to the right side, just like this. And we'll start with right hand on hip, left hand on your slider, and we're going to go out and come up, out. And so you can make this more challenging by reaching further out, or less challenging by not going out quite as far. Your choice. We're going to be moving fairly slow so you can make those adjustments To keep yourself safe, we're going to do 3 more. Out, in, and exhale, and inhale. Now we're going to change it up just a little bit. We'll come out. I'm not going to go out quite as far as I did before. Now take your right arm and you're going to sweep it down towards your left hand and then reach it out to a diagonal. So it's almost like you're slicing the air at a diagonal. And we'll do 2 more. Down and open, and down and open. Pause right there. Take a breath in and out. And then we're going to come back down. Now both hands are going to be on sliders and you're going to be turned to the side. So everybody will be a little bit different here. Some of you may be really far to the side. Some of you might not be quite as far. It just depends on how much rotation in your spine is comfortable to you. So I'm kind of halfway in between. But we're going to go slide out again, come back up, and then do a little push-up. Squeeze your elbows into your ribs, and then slide out, and in, lower down, press up, out, and in, lower, press up, out, in, and lower, press up. Good. And then we're going to swing around to come to the other side. So take your sliders with you and we'll start. So now you're on your right hip, legs off to the left hand to the hip, right hand on your slider. And we'll go out and in, out and in. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Let's do 4 more. Out, in, out, in, and out, and in. The last one, out, and in. Now we're going to slide out, hold there. I'm not going to go quite as far as I did before. Take your what is this, your left hand, reach it down, kind of lead with your thumb, inhale it up. Exhale, slice down. Inhale, sweep up. 2 more. Down, up. Last one, down and up. Pause right here. Take a breath in and out. And then bring your left hand down to your other slider. You can shift how far you're to the side. And then we'll slide out with both arms. Come in, little push-up, squeezing the elbows into the ribs, up. Slide out, come in, lower down, press up. 2 more, out, in, lower, and up, out, and in, and lower, press up. Wonderful. Okay, now we're going to come into table. So we'll start with the sliders out in front of you. If you need the padding under your knees, you're going to get that set up as well. I whacked my knee on a chair the other day, so I have one knee that's still pretty sore to be on your knees. So just make sure that you're comfortable here. And we're going to have our hands on our sliders, and you want to come forward enough on your mat if you're on a mat so that you can comfortably get your hands underneath your shoulders. And we'll just start out with a cat-cow. Deep breath in, exhale, round, inhale, arch, round, arch. Let's do 2 more, round, and arch. Last time, round, and arch. Come back to neutral. Now we're going to do a combo of this with our sliders. So exhale as you push out. Inhale, come in and round. Actually, I have that wrong. So you're going to inhale as you press out, kind of like you're coming into puppy pose. And then exhale as you pull in and round your back into your cat. Inhale, puppy. Exhale, cat. And we'll do a few more of these. Inhale, round. Inhale, round. And we'll take one more of these. Inhale, and round. Good. And then relax your shoulders. Let's just do a little hip wag. Now we're going to take one arm sliding. The other one's going to do like a little mini push-up. So you're going to push one arm out as you bend the other arm and then come back up. So right now I'm moving right arm, left hand stays where it is and the left elbow bends. And then we're going to go out to the side and come in. Go forward and in and side and in. Forward, in, side, in. One more each direction, out and in, and then side and in. Then we'll go right to the other side. Forward, in, and side, in, forward. And as you're doing this, you're kind of pushing down into your slider so you create some resistance. Now, if you were just really light on the hand, that would be a softer way to do it. Well, one more each way, forward, and in, and out, and in. Good. And then let's take a few little cat-cows. And then we're going to push the hands forward, and now we get to come into a puppy pose. Let your forehead drop down, heart melts, maybe lift the outside edges of the shoulder blades up, but maybe come onto the fingertips. So just your palms are up. And then ease your way back to child's pose, and let's slide the arms down by our sides, palms facing up. Maybe do a little rocking in your child's pose if that feels good. And then come back to center and sigh. All right, and then we're going to press back up. Now we're going to take the sliders, and I'm actually going to fold my sliders, my towels, one more time. So it's even twice as thick here. And these are going to go underneath our knees. So you're going to bring the sliders to the back of the mat so that your knees can come onto those sliders, just like that. And then you can stay up on hands or you can go down to the elbows. I'm going to go down to the elbows. As you come onto the elbows or hands, make sure your head isn't hanging. So we're going to push the base of the head up to keep it in line with your spine and your shoulders. And then we're going to slide the knees out wide and then squeeze them together. Slide them out wide and squeeze together. Out and in. Out and in. All right, I need to adjust my towels under my knees, and we're going to do 4 more. Out, squeeze together. Out and together. Out. I lost count together, but I think it's 1 more. Out and together. Good. Take a breath in and out. And then we'll come back up to the hands. Now, I'm going to get my knee pad back in place just at that very bottom edge of my mat. And then we're going to take the sliders underneath the ball of the foot, just like that. So now you're in table with your toes tucked under on your sliders. And then you're going to slide one leg long and bring it in. Slide the other leg long. Bring it in. And out. We're alternating. The next exercise we do is going to be a more challenging version of this. So you can always return to this as an option when we go to the next thing. Out. Let's do one more on each leg. Out and in and out and in. Let's pause right here. And then I'm going to walk my hands back a little bit. We're going to basically do a mountain climber on our toes, sliding the feet. So you're going to bring the legs up, knees up, and then slide one leg long, and then shift, and shift, and shift. Exhale, exhale. These are, we've just amped up the intensity. Remember, you can go back to the first option anytime you need. Let's do two more on each leg. Switch, one more, switch, and switch. Good. And then come back to your table. Let's release the feet. Come into child's pose. Take a sigh. All right, and then come back up. Now, back to curling your toes under on your sliders. Now, we're going to go out to a diagonal and come in. And out to a diagonal. Come in. So this is one option. Let's do one more on each leg. You can stay in this option, or we're going to come back to another version of mountain climber. Knees lift. We're going to come here. Let's actually come to a plank, and then we're going to pull one leg up to a kind of at a side bend and out, and pull up and out, and in and out, in, out, in, out, in, out. We're at 4, I think. Out, in, out. We got 4 more on each leg. Up, down, up, down. 3, and 2. Last one on each leg. In, out, in, out. Good. Come back to both knees. Let's release our toes. Let's give our wrists a little stretch by tucking one under. You're gonna support yourself with your other hand. So you're in control of how much pressure you have on that wrist. And then switch. And come back. Let's take a cat-cow, breathe in. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. And round. And arch. And back to neutral. Okay, we're not done here. We're going to tuck our toes under. And we're going to lift the knees up. So you can stay here and just do a lift and lower of your knees. Or we're going to slide both legs long and pull them in. And go long, pull in, out, in, 4, in. We got 4 more. 4, 3, 2. Ooh, these are hard. 1. Come in. Set the knees down. Take a break. Now we have one more little thing right here. We're going to come back up to our bear pose. Knees are lifted. And now you're going to do little circles. We'll just do 4 each way. 3, 4, reverse, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, And release down. Let's come into child's pose. Slide your arms down by your sides. Take a side. Now, another way to do our wrist stretch is so your arms are down by your sides, palms are facing up. Keep the backs of the hands on the floor. Squeeze your elbows to your ribs and just slide your hands forward. Another way to stretch out the wrists. Take a breath in. Let it out. Stretch the arms forward. Come back up. Let's take a cat-cow. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. And around. Arch one more time. Round. And arch. Good. Back to neutral. Now reach down. Slide your sliders to the front of you. We can come off the knee pad. And we're going to lower our way down to our bellies. Yeah, so now your hands are going to be on your sliders. Now, before we do anything, I want you to engage your core. So you're going to keep pressing the tops of the feet into the floor, lengthen your tailbone long, scoop in your navel, engage your glutes. Now, we're going to lift up by sliding your hands towards you, and then slide out and down. Slide up, pull in, slide forward and around. Slide forward, pull in, slide forward and around. Back to the front, pull up, reach forward, slide out, forward, pull in, out, and around. 3 more. Up, pull in, forward, around. Up, in, forward, around. Last time. Up, pull in, forward, and around. And then stop right here and just lift the arms up, squeeze them together. Navel is still in, tailbone long, glutes are working. Now reach the arms down, lift the heart up. Maybe lift the legs, but you don't lift them long, just reach them long as they come off the floor. One more breath in and out. And then place hands underneath your forehead. Relax your way down, do a little hip wiggle side to side. And then bend your knees and move the feet side to side. Good. And then lengthen the legs back out. Let's bring hands underneath the shoulders. Press your way back up into your table position. Set your knee pads up if you need to. Let's do a cat-cow right here. And then you could come back to puppy pose, or maybe you want to lift up into a down dog just to stretch out the backs of the legs a bit more. If you come into your down dog, pedal your feet a bit. And then release your heels down, lift up through your sits bones, big sigh. Come back to table, walk your hands to the right, shift your hips back and to the left. Drop your head and take a great big sigh here. And then maybe breathe a little more deeply into your left side. Okay, come up, walk hands to the left, hips shift back and to the right, drop your head and sigh. And then breathe deeply into your right side. And come back up, come center. We're going to curl our toes under, maybe make your feet about shoulder width or a little wider as you lift your knees off the floor. Now, some of you might feel comfortable hanging in a ragdoll, cupping your elbows. Some of you might feel better with your knees really bent and your elbows or hands resting on your thighs. to keep your spine straight and just let your head hang. Either way, you might do a little bit of swinging here. And then if you are swinging, come center. Let's bring hands to thighs, shoulders away from your ears. Let your head hang, and then shake your head no. Nod yes. And head drops. Arms help on this next part. Deep breath in. Exhale, push hands into the thighs to press up halfway with a flat back. Take another breath in, and then exhale, roll your way up. Shoulders going up, back, and down. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, hands to heart and sigh. All right, so let's walk the feet in. Now, before we work a little bit more into our legs, we did a lot of upper body and a lot of core. I want us to just release our wrists a little bit more. And as we're getting ready to do that, I'm just going to move this out of the way so I can stay closer to you when we're doing some of the standing stuff. Okay, so let's release our wrists, bring your arm long in front of you, fingers down, give your wrist a little pull. And then flip it, palm up, fingers down, another little pull. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Oops, start palm down, fingers down, pull. And then flip and pull again. Good. From there, we're gonna take one hand, grab the other hand, and pull it as if you're trying to pull your hand off the end of your forearm. So we're just making some space in the wrist joint. While you're doing that, open and close your fingers. And when you open the fingers, spread them out really big. Okay, and then switch. Yeah. Okay, and then we're going to interlace our fingers and pull our hands apart. And then bring your palms together, squeeze your elbows into your rib cage so that you're not moving your arms. We just want to move through our wrists, creating some little infinity signs. Good, and then go the other way. It's always harder going the second way. Have to think about it a whole lot and then pull again, and then just start your fingers. Okay, let's shake out the arms a little bit. Let's actually do a little swinging twist too. So as you let your arms swing, let them flop into your body and lift your heel up. Okay, and then come back into center. Then we're going to have our sliders kind of out in front of us, and I had mine folded into a smaller fold, so now I'm going to open them back out so that when I place my foot on the slider or my towel, my whole foot can go on the surface of the towel. It's just a little more stable that way. And then we're going to find our mountain pose position. Shoulders come up, back and down. And then inhale, reach arms up, heart lift. Soften your knees as much as you need to as you fold forward. Some of you might decide to fold just halfway, or you can go all the way forward. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, lower. Fingers reach back. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold down. Halfway, if that's better for you. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, lower. Fingers reach back. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart and sigh. Great. Okay, let's bring the hands down. Now we're going to bring one foot onto your slider. The other foot is going to be off the slider. In fact, I'm just going to slide it off to the side so nobody gets confused. And then actually I want a little bit more space behind me so I don't kick my mat. Okay, so our foot that's not on the slider is going to be our standing supporting leg. It's really important as we do this, because we're going to be lowering down to kind of a chair pose position, that instead of bending, and see how my weight is in my toes and my hips are more forward this way, I want you to push back. Okay, here's the difference. In the toes, in the heel. So when you go into more weight in the heel and you can push back, it's a safer position for the knee. And it also works more of the back of the leg as well. So when we bend, I want you to really push your weight into the heel. Now you can have your hands at your hips. You can have your hands together at your heart. If you go to the heart though, what tends to happen is people want to collapse into their chest. So if you're doing that, make sure you keep your collarbones really open. Okay. All right. So now we're going to bend the left leg, push your weight into the heel as you slide your right leg out to the side, push weight into the heel to straighten and slide the leg in. So we're going to start here, out and in. We're going nice and slow. You can kind of push down into your slider to make your inner thigh especially work more as you pull in. All right. And let's do 4 more this way, and then we'll change it up a little bit. Out, in, out, in. 2 more like this. And then we're going to go in different directions. Out and in. Now we're going to go front and in and side, in and back. You might go to the toes in your back foot and back in and out to the side and in. Front, in, side, in, back, in, side, in. We're going to do 2 more all the way around. Front, in, side, in, back, in, side. How's your standing leg? 1 more. Front and side and back and side. Good. And come up. Whoa, take a side. Okay, we're going to set that one off to the side. Come on to your other one. And remember, we're going to go into our heel. We'll start out 8 to the side. Out, pull back in. Out, pull in. 3 and 4. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now 4 around the world. Front and side and back and side. That was 1. Front, side, open your collarbones, back and side. Okay. 3. Really try to stabilize your standing leg. This is my weaker leg. I can tell my knee wants to be a little more wobbly. Oop, I lost my balance on that standing leg. You might have a similar situation. Front, this is the last one. Side, back, whew, and side. Good. All right, set that off to the side. Whew, give the legs a little shake. Roll the shoulders, take a sigh. Okay, now we're going to take both feet onto our sliders. Same principle applies, weight into the heels as you shift your weight back. So we're gonna lower down, come up, slide out, lower, come up, slide in, out, lower, up, slide in, lower down. I forgot to lower down on the other side. Out, lower, up, in, lower, and up. Out, lower, up. Pull in, lower, and up. Good. Out, lower, up. Pull in, lower, and up. Good. Out, lower, up. Pull in, and lower. We'll do one more each way. Out, lower, up, in, lower, and up. Out, bend, up, pull in, bend, and up. Take a side. Release the arms. Let's give them a little shake. Maybe roll your shoulders. Now we're going to do hands to the hips, or we're going to alternate lifting. I'll show you. So we're going to do a chair pose, come up, slide the left foot, do a little curtsy. So you can keep hands on your hips, or the leg that slides back, it would be the arm that reaches up. And then come center, lower down, up, curtsy other side, and up. Bend, straighten, curtsy, and center. Bend, straighten, curtsy, and center. I'll do it without the arm now, just to show you. Curtsy, center, bend, straighten, curtsy, center. We'll do two more on each side. Straighten, curtsy, center, curtsy, center. One more each way. Curtsy, and center, and curtsy, and center. Good. Hold here. Weight in the heels. Open your collarbones. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then push your heels strong into the floor as you straighten the legs up. Let's come off our sliders. Do a little march. Maybe do a little leg shake. And then we're going to come back onto the floor. So I'm going to pull my mat closer again. And let's face the mat. And we'll inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, lower. Bend your knees. Walk your hands forward. Now you could come back into puppy pose. You could come up to a down dog, or you could come into a child's pose. You decide what you think would feel the best for you right there. And then take a breath in. Sigh it out. Good. And then we're going to come all the way to sitting, legs out in front of us. And we're going to have our sliders under each hand. So this one, if you know that this doesn't work for your shoulders, of course, you will skip it. But what we're going to do is just kind of slide out and wide and then pull back in. Now that's the action. You have control of just how far you lower down to work for your shoulders. We'll do 4 more here, and then I'll show you another thing you can add to make this a little more challenging. 2 more. Out and in and out and in. Pause right there. We can do 8 more like that, or you can add the legs. So you'd go out and pull in. Out, in. 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2. Last one. Good. Bring the sliders down by your feet. Bring your hands to the backs of your knees. Let's do a little cat-cow here. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, round back. I'm going to scoot even further forward so that I'm lying on my mat. Let's do that again. Inhale, hard forward and round back. Last one. Forward and round back. And then release all the way down. Once you come down, I'm going to bring my knee pad underneath my head. And we're going to bring the hips towards the edge of your mat, if you're using a mat. And now we're going to bring the feet back on to your sliders. Arms down by your sides, palms facing up. And then you're just going to slide one leg long and you're pushing down, so you're getting that resistance as you go long. You're going to go as far as you can go while keeping the whole foot on the floor. And then slide it back in and we'll lift up to a bridge, lower down. Slide the other leg long and bend it, bridge and lower. Out, in. You don't have to lift high in your bridge, but really think of squeezing the glutes. And up, out, in, lift, lower. One more, out, in, lift, lower. Okay, that is your option that you can stay with if you prefer. Otherwise, we're going to lift up to a bridge, hold that bridge. So you might even want to walk your shoulder blades in. You could clasp your hands, do whatever feels good for your arms. And then we're going to stay in our bridge as we go long and bend. Woo! Really feel it in the hamstrings more now. In, out, in, alternating, in. We got 5 more on each leg. And 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one on each leg. Whoa. Hamstrings are talking to me. And pause right here in your bridge. Deep breath in. Exhale. Oh, slowly roll down. And then we're going to bring our knees into our chest. We did it. We're just going to do a few little stretches here. So rock your knees side to side. Take a sigh. And then come center. Let's stretch out the hamstrings. Oh, we were just working them. So let's give them a little stretch by pumping them up and bend. And then as you come back up to a long leg, use your hands to guide and think of yourself as if you were cross-country skiing on the ceiling. So you're going to pull one leg towards you as you push the other leg further away and then alternate. Good. Okay, and then let's give the glutes a little release. Coming back to our figure 4 pose, right ankle to the left thigh. Bring your left knee up, or you can set your left foot on the floor, or if you have a block, you can set your foot on the block. And then go side to side here. Find where you're going to stop. Breathe right there. Now, cross your right thigh all the way over so your thighs are glued together. Bring your knees up towards your chest again. You can keep holding on to the knees, or you might slide your hands down towards the feet. And if you do that, you could give your feet a little pull towards your shoulders. And right now we have the knees fairly close to the chest, but you could play with bringing your knees further or closer to find the right spot for you. Feel free to even do a little rocking. So explore. All right, and then we'll go to the other side. Right foot on the floor, left ankle to your right thigh. Figure 4 pose on this side. Maybe a little rock side to side. This feels good. And then find your stopping place. Breathe right there. And then cross left thigh all the way over, knees to the chest. You could slide your hands down towards the feet and give them a little pull towards your shoulders. And after a breath or two, you could explore. Maybe move the knees further from your chest or do a little rocking. Find where you get the most out of this position for you. Everybody's bodies are different. Good. All right. Release both feet on the floor, arms out to a T. Couple more of those easy windshield wiper twists, just like the way we started. All right. And then as you come center, one knee to the chest, the other leg can be bent, foot on the floor, or leg goes long. So whatever knee you're hanging on to, keep hanging on to it same side. And then your long leg, that arm will stretch up over your head. And as you reach it up, really stretch out from your heel to your fingers on that one side. And if you want a slightly deeper stretch, bring the other hand to the back of the thigh. Keep the thigh in close to your chest and flex the foot. And then maybe stack your ankle over your knee. So you're in a true lunge on your back. And breathe there. And then give your knee a tighter hug. And set the foot down. Other knee comes to the chest. You can keep the foot on the floor or go long with that leg. And then the long leg, same side arm reaches up and just reach out from your heel to your fingertips. And while you're doing that, you might slide the other hand to the back of the thigh, flex the foot, and stack your foot over to your knee, over your knee, so you're in a lunge. Good. And then hug the knee in tight for a breath. And then go long with both legs, arms stretch up. Do a few little side to side stretches. And then a full stretch. And then walk your feet back to the floor, knees into your chest, rock side to side. Or you could even do some circles here. You do what feels good there. Follow the intuition, the wisdom of your body. And then when you feel ready, roll to your side, press your way up. Back to seated. Take a great big sigh. And then with one hand, reach over and give yourself a pat on the back for maybe trying something new. Thank you for joining me. Let me know how you liked this or if you have any questions. And also let me know if you have requests for future members' classes because I really, really appreciate your feedback. Thanks. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.